A sparkler can seriously burn a child, so always hold it at arm's length. Not the child, the sparkler. Sparklers, handle with care.
Give me a quiet sense of pride to think that I've got the same blood as somebody who did something amazing.
He was a millionaire in his day, I should think.
Was he?
Well, he must have been.
What happened to the money?
Who do you think you are? Tuesday at 9 on BBC Two.
Yeah, that's some distractions. Subtitles 11.
For more information, call 08703 333 083.
Fox News will continue to give unbiased coverage of the election contest between my cousin, the hero, President George W. Bush, and the evil lunatic John Kerry, who will destroy everything the American people hold creative.
Dead Ringers, the U.S. election special, Monday at 9 on BBC Two.
Sex in the world's best-loved city. It's all going on and coming off, actually, in Venice tonight at 9:25 on BBC Two.
This week, What the Papers Say is presented by Matthew Paris of The Times.
Hello. In a week in which a newly discovered extinct humanoid has hit the press and looks like Frank Dobson,
the 1 metre tall human that challenges history of evolution.
Head for the doors and windows, because our theme this week is a lethal cocktail: religion and politics.
Morality versus the PC Brigade of Brussels.
How the devil do you get a Satanist in the Navy?
And can a devout Catholic serve in high public office? Can a declared Satanist serve in the Royal Navy? Will a national culture still hugely influenced by its Protestant roots tolerate a casino society?
Soldiers of the Black Watch gathered for a Sunday service in Basra yesterday before their deployment south of Baghdad. They sang Amazing Grace before hearing a reading from the book of Joshua that talked of standing firm and steadfast.
Here in the Telegraph on Monday are members of the Black Watch at prayer. Religion still matters. It mattered to Rocco Buttiglione, the proposed new European Justice Commissioner.
Pope's ally sparks EU power battle over views on sex.
Rocco Buttiglione has inflamed the bitter row over his appointment as Europe's next Security and Justice Commissioner with a withering criticism of single mothers.
The Italian politician, who enraged members of the European Parliament with his comments on homosexuals, said that children who had only a mother and no father were
the children of a not very good mother.
A friend of the Pope. Even after all these centuries, that phrase will have a sinister sound to some viewers' ears. His proclaimed views on homosexuality and women damned him in the eyes of the European Parliament and the Independent.
Private prejudices must be kept out of public roles. An EU commissioner who regards homosexuality as a sin should not be in charge of equal rights.
William Rees-Mogg in The Times on Monday was quick to defend him.
The Catholic Church does have austere views about many different expressions of sexual conduct, including homosexual conduct, but it does not condemn people for the temperaments that they inherit.
To the Daily Mail on Wednesday, Signor Buttiglione was
a deeply moral man who was not prepared to trim his personal religious convictions to the politically correct nostrums of the European Parliament.
The Sun decided to giggle. And how I admire that paper's fearless approximation and talent for summary.
Holy See to be dumped in gay row. Bye, Mandy.
The Financial Times begged MEPs to back down on Wednesday. They didn't. So on Thursday, ever the EU's little ray of media sunshine, the FT looked on the bright side.
Parliament power.
The European Parliament has scored an undoubted victory.
The whole world published its opinion. There was but one strange silence. And from our most famous former MEP, a source of normally limitless volubility. Pity that indefatigable anti-papist Ian Paisley. What when it's the Pope or his friend trying to
save Ulster from sodomy.
The Reverend Dr. P finds himself between a rocco and a hard place. We still await a tabloid pun on Buttiglione. Had the Parliament endorsed him, saved your bacon booty might have served. But when young Chris Cranmer won the right as a declared devil worshipper to serve aboard the HMS Cumberland, a Sun headline writer did score a bullseye.
Devil worship!
But then again, so did the Mail.
Devil worship.
And what's this? The Guardian and the Sport singing from the same, hymn sheet.
The Devil and the Deep Blue Sea.
The Devil and the Deep Blue Sea!
Prompting the Mail to get in on the punning fun the following day.
Devil and the Deep Blue Sea.
But credit where it's due, the story first appeared in the Sunday Telegraph. No prizes for guessing the headline.
The Devil and the Deep Blue Sea.
It's a measure of how secular our press has become that I've noticed no reference to the fact that Lieutenant Cranmer shares his surname with the author of the Book of Common Prayer. Spooky, eh?
Evil Satanist. My sweet Chris just loves his mum.
The Sun knew who'd have chapter and verse on this one.
Mum Catherine, 51 of Kirkliston, West Lothian, said last night,
I'm proud he stood up for his beliefs. He's a kind, sweet son who loves his mum. He doesn't have an evil bone in his body.
I'm sure she's right. Hell, if I may employ that term, the way you'd spot a seriously dangerous Satanist is that you wouldn't. Your hardcore devil worshipper doesn't let on. This boy's just a bit of a romantic. And so was John Peel, the man who played the devil's music and, quite uniquely for a DJ, actually touched people's lives. The tributes were largely front page.
He was the most important person in British music since the birth of rock and roll,
said Andy Kershaw in The Independent. But my favourite tribute came from Guardian reader Danny Storr.
Would it be appropriate to have 1 minute's noise to commemorate the life of John Peel?
The noise levels grew to a crescendo this week in the row about casinos. Do I detect our Puritan roots in this gambling debate?
Mammon and the Mob.
March of the Two-Armed Bandits.
The Mail sent David Jones to Atlantic City to find fresh ammo for its latest campaign.
Kill the casino bill.
Jones duly found a security guard who furnished him with the damning evidence.
I've got a million stories,
he said.
Murder, rape, prostitution, robbery. One guy bit his wife's ear off because she refused to leave the gaming table.
How religion and morals skew argument, turning habitual advocates of tolerance like me into a Vesuvius of indignation about the appointment of a Catholic commissioner, and long-time libertarians like Simon Jenkins in the Times into starchy moral guardians of the nation's conscience.
Bright lights, dingy ethics. To hear Miss Jowl and her officials talk, they seem to think they are licensing a few Methodist church halls and a refuge for Gamblers Anonymous. It's out of Guys and Dolls.
The Guardian on Wednesday republished what must rank as one of the most ill-advised media opportunities of recent times.
Tessa Jowl in the guise of croupier at a London casino.